Hello there. Good evening and welcome to this special episode of our program, Abuja Dispatch, which we bring to you from the city of Lisbon in Portugal. Our crew has been part and parcel of the presidential visits to the city of Lisbon for the past 5 days. And in this episode, we bring you the bit-by-bit reports of what transpired in this presidential official visit. Join us. The twofold essence of President Muhammadu Buhari's visits to Portugal are for official state visitation at the invitation of his host and also to attend the United Nations Oceans Conference. President Buhari will also visit the Portuguese Parliament and hold discussions with its president, Dr. Augusto Santos Silva, as well as the Prime Minister of Portugal, Antonio Costa. Also in the course of the visit, the president is scheduled to address a forum of Nigerian and Portuguese businessmen and hold separate meetings with selected Portuguese chief executive officers and prospective investors to Nigeria. The Nigerian leader is also expected to engage members of the Nigerian community in Portugal on matters affecting them and developments at home. On Mr. President's entourage are the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono, retired, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, and Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, and some key members of the Federal Executive Council. The Portuguese president and his guests are expected to chair an enlarged bilateral meeting and witness the signing of some agreements bordering on issues of mutual concerns. Aside attending several laid-down fora to enhance bilateral relations between Portugal and Nigeria, Mr. President is also expected to lay his voice in the United Nations Conference on the challenges facing oceans and marine global ecosystem. The overarching theme of the conference is scaling up ocean action based on science and innovation for the implementation of Goal 14, stock-taking, partnerships, and solutions. After a prolonged wait by the dignitaries and officers of the Nigerian embassy in Portugal, the Nigerian Air Force plane conveying President Buhari touched down at exactly 10 minutes past 9 Tuesday night. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, said President Buhari's state visit to Lisbon was at the invitation of Portuguese President Marcelo de Sousa. He said the visitor is billed to hold official talks with his Portuguese counterpart and will also be conferred with the country's national honor and decorated with great collar of the Order of Prince Henry.
In so many respects, it is a very important visit. Importantly, it is a state visit hosted by the Portuguese government. And, from the engagements laid out here, the president would be engaging with the government of Portugal at various layers, starting with the president of the country, where he will also be receiving this country's highest national honor. He will be have a lunch meeting with the Prime Minister. The President will go to the Parliament, would meet with the leadership of the Parliament in this country.
Reacting to insinuations in some quarters over the incessant foreign travels of President Buhari despite mirage of challenges back home, the media aide hinted that such important foreign engagements are needed in order to foster robust partnership with the international community.
Every country has a vision of its place in international affairs. And this cannot be accomplished without engagement. So you have to engage the countries of the world. And the president has set a vision for the place of Nigeria in international affairs. Obviously, this he has to follow up, and he has been doing it in a way to convince the world, to send the message across that we are ready, we are prepared to give the kind of leadership that the world expects from the continent's largest economy, the country with the largest population.
Meanwhile, President Buhari will also participate in the United Nations Oceans Conference, which began in Lisbon on Monday, June 27th, and runs to July 1st. The conference, co-hosted by the governments of Kenya and Portugal, are supported by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, and it aims to accelerate the adoption of science-based innovative solutions to challenges facing oceans and the global marine ecosystem. In Lisbon, Portugal, the beauty of this presidential interface with Nigerians living in Lisbon, Portugal, was evident in the level of passion and excitement on their faces, as this is the first time in more than 20 years a sitting president will pay them such a visit. From the Nigerian ambassador to Portugal to the representatives of the Nigerian communities, such engagements like these afford them the rare opportunity of having a close conversation with the Nigerian government at the highest level, while also providing a veritable platform to reel out challenges that these Nigerians face in the foreign land.
I wish to confirm that most Nigerians in Portugal are peaceful and law-abiding. Also, the mission through its various services attends to their needs as fast as possible. It is my hope that the mission will continue to work with the Nigerian community to encourage Nigerians to shun all forms of crimes, considering the damage to the image of our beloved country.
Most Nigerians, for the fact that we are foreigners here and we do not, our native language or our official language is not Portuguese language. We have this issue with raising up our children in schools where they would be able to speak English fluently, as well as speak the Portuguese language as well. That is why this administration has one of its priority, the setting up of a Nigerian school, a Nigerian house, and a Nigerian hostel system.
Highly elated, President Buhari commended the comportment of over 3,000 Nigerians living here, while asking them to eschew all acts detrimental to the common patrimony of the Nigerian nation through irresponsible social media insinuations, while assuring the people of his government's uncompromised disposition towards having free and fair election in 2023. Mr. President also stressed the need for Nigerians to vote for issue-based political office seekers in the coming polls, irrespective of party lines.
Many countries, including our own, have had to take strong measures against some social media platforms to curb their excesses and prevent them from destabilizing our societies. I therefore call upon you to use social media responsibly. We all want the best for our country and people, so let us strive to build, unite, and prosper our nation and people.
Meanwhile, Nigerians living abroad were further urged to key into the developmental drives and programs of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, as their impact as a source of growth in all fields of human endeavor cannot be stressed enough.
The key thing is there are programs for the diaspora. The diaspora housing scheme, for instance, is aimed at having the diaspora be able to own your own homes from wherever you are. You know, the diaspora mortgage scheme with the Federal Bank of Nigeria, the Diaspora Investment Trust Fund, and several other programs for the diaspora. So we need to encourage our brothers and sisters abroad who want to do things back home, who are doing things back home, and ensure that we encourage rather than make things difficult for them.
So far, records indicate that over 3,000 Nigerians live in Portugal, with 500 acquiring resident status, while 300 has been granted full nationality. It's been 6 years that the President of the Republic of Portugal, Marcelo de Sousa, had expressed willingness to host the Nigerian leader on a state visit. Rolling out the drums to welcome President Muhammadu Buhari by the paraphernalia of the Portuguese government is therefore not unexpected. The third day of the state visit kicked off with a colorful parade of military tradition in honor of President Buhari at the center of the city, overseeing the famous Prado Imperial Parade Ground. Immediately, the host and his guest, in company of delegation of both sides, proceeded to the over 400 years old monastery, where the visitor paid tribute to the tomb of the famous Portuguese poet Luís Vaz Camões. The next port of call was the presidential palace, where the two leaders got engaged in a closed-door session. Addressing the press afterwards, they both expressed willingness to deepen the two countries' over 40 years of bilateral and trade relationship. They agreed that the nations of the world are groaning at present, and no better time than now could the two countries lead their respective continents. Meanwhile, at the sidelines of the state visit is an ongoing Nigerian-Portugal Business and Trade Forum with the theme Expanding Investment and Trade Opportunities between Nigeria and Portugal.
This gathering of business entrepreneurs is an indication that the two countries are willing to prioritize private sector participation in trade relations. And this is an opportunity that we should absolutely utilize, bearing in mind the number of sectors available for investments in our two countries.
The two leaders and other stakeholders were of the views that with the level of cooperation between the two countries, there is the need to evolve strategies that could help tap economic potentials of both nations.
In the last 25 years, trade between Nigeria and Portugal has more than doubled to just over $1 billion United States dollars by 2020, just before the coronavirus pandemic. This has been mostly in the oil and gas sector. Although this is great progress, we strongly believe we can and should do a lot more.
We know we were very powerful economically. We were leading Africa economically. You are very important in population growth, in companies growth. You are very important when you prepare your diversification. You know you must diversify. And we could help you diversifying your economy.
In continuation of the state visit, Mr. President is expected to visit the Portuguese National Assembly as a way of cementing a more robust political relationship with Portugal. The office of the Mayor of Lisbon was located in the heart of the city, which, according to history, had been in existence 1,200 years before Christ. The City Guard Brigade heralded the coming of the Nigerian leader with a colorful guard of honor in the city court. The Mayor of Lisbon, Carlos Moedas, did not hide his excitement welcoming President Buhari to the City Hall, being the first time ever a Nigerian leader would honor the city with a state visit. He acknowledged the innovative drives of the Buhari administration in the areas of agriculture, rail transportation, and oil and gas development. He said Lisbon dreams to be the leading global source of innovation as the city embarks on massive global projects, and he wants Nigeria to be part of this dream. President Buhari applauded the continued support Nigerians in Lisbon are enjoying, while hoping for future opening of direct flight between Nigeria and Portugal so as to develop untapped tourism potentials of both countries. Before leaving the City Hall, the symbolic key of the city of Lisbon was presented to the guests. The next port of call was the Portuguese Prime Minister's office, where delegations of the two countries had some bilateral talks behind closed doors, while the agreements were later signed in the open. The key bilateral instruments were in the areas of political consultations, diplomatic trading, and research exchange, cooperation in the field of culture, women and girls empowerment, and youth and sports development.
Well, right after the signing of the MOU, the next critical stage in the next 1 week will be for both countries to put together an implementation committee of 6 people, 3 from Portugal and 3 from Nigeria. That implementation committee will now draw up an action plan. Some of programs from Portugal will be put down, programs from Nigeria will be put down, and then we'll plug in and see which of the programs will fit in, and we can start almost immediately. So this MOU, we hope that in the next 1 month or so, we'll be able to have a final action plan and we can start.
I have met with their officials, including the Prime Minister of the country, to discuss about partnership, collaboration and support in building our digital economy, particularly supporting our talent development, digital startups and many more.
We're hoping that with the political and diplomatic consultations agreement that we will be able to establish either a joint commission or a mechanism for cooperation and coordination, so that we will be meeting on a regular basis all the parties and sectors on the Nigerian side and all the parties and sectors on the Portuguese side.
Meanwhile, it is expected that a special committee will be formed between the two countries to harmonize these interests for effective reality of the gains of the agreements. That is how far time can permit us tonight on Abuja Dispatch. A week from now, we'll bring you another refreshing package. Same time, same station. Adegboye Garagwada is my name. Have a good night.